So the big question is this: how are commercial real estate brokers like us, who didn't take on debt to start their own brokerage, who are stuck in the hamster wheel of day-to-day selling, how do we sell real estate and build our businesses in a way that lets us develop rockstar teammates and create enough leverage to back away from day-to-day selling? How do we get our services, ideas, and insights out into the world and yet still create passive wealth? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brett Swarts, and welcome to the Expert Commercial Real Estate Secrets Podcast. Welcome to the Expert Realty Secrets Podcast, where we believe most real estate brokers and agents struggle with clarifying their passive income options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven brokerage strategy such as the eXp model and purchasing investment real estate is the best way for you to grow your wealth. I'm your host, Brett Swarts, and each episode I am joined by some of the best real estate brokers, real estate agents, commercial real estate brokers, and passive income wealth advisors in the world, where they share their ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together we can make complex brokerage strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. I'm excited about our next guest. He's a repeat guest, and you can hear his full story by going to our previous episode. But his name is Jim Huang, and Jim has a similar background with me. Both started at Marcus Millichap, but he went on to not only own investment real estate, but own another brokerage where he expanded to over $125 million per year on average on sales. All right, so our next guest is Jim Huang. He's actually a repeat guest. He has a similar background, Marcus Millichap. You can learn about that, but he went on to start BRC Advisors, and they collectively over 160 commercial real estate agents at the height, and about $1.25 billion of sales per year. He then went on to Sperry Commercial Global Affiliates. And since building all of those to success, eXp said, hey, we want you to start the commercial division. And he is focused on helping commercial real estate brokers like yourself create and preserve more wealth and getting on the other side of the phone, right? Not just owning real estate, but also using the brokerage model to become passive as well. Please welcome to the show, Anthony, Jim Huang. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Good, Brett. Good. Happy to be here.
Excellent. And we're just going to dive in right into the eXp model itself. And again, listeners can go back and listen to the other show to learn more about your story. But would you please explain kind of the particular problem maybe you are having, or maybe agents or commercial real estate agents are having before discovering eXp commercial?
Yeah. So a lot of people, they're just not exploring, seeing their value. If things are fine, they just kind of stay put, which, I understand. I was one of those agents too for a while. And then you keep on have to network, meet with other people to kind of explore other options or hear what else is out there. Obviously, there's other large firms, there's hybrid firms, regional firms, there's the residential firms with commercial, or then even thinking about just going independent, right? Getting your own broker's license, setting up your own shop. But I would say always keep open-minded to see what's best for you. There's no one size fits all. Sometimes you may be an institutional. This is what works for best for you. You may just work with small mom and pops, but this works best for you. And then it's really looking at, to me, the fit of what we're trying to do at eXp, create a culture, a leadership with all commercial agents and brokers to run the company. The next is trying to get, and we'll get, all the technologies and tools that we need, like the CoStar, the LoopNet, the build out or proposal package or research tools. We're going to get everything at the best price. And then using Verbella to network and collaborate. I know everyone's been talking about network, just like right now, Zoom. Almost everyone that's a professional has a Zoom account to really communicate with everyone. So you do need that. Also,
Excellent.
we're constantly, go ahead, Brett.
No, I was just going to dive into a little bit of that problem there and that challenge, what's going on. And part of that is looking at new ideas and new ways of doing things, sort of like, Netflix versus Blockbuster, or Uber versus the traditional taxi, or Airbnb versus traditional rentals, and seeing if there's an opportunity for commercial real estate. Starting out at Marcus and Millichap, I remember being on the phones in 2006, 2007, and that's kind of all there was the option, right? You go to the brick and mortar, you show up, you make the calls, you go on the meetings, and it's that kind of that local market there and that specialty, which is still ultra important. But how do you collaborate and scale that on a manner which can be successful for you and the brokerage? Well, that's what Uber figured out, that's what Netflix figured out, and that's what we believe eXp Commercial has figured out now as well. So diving into that, what's the biggest frustration do you feel that commercial real estate brokers are feeling as they try to solve the problem of, I'm building someone else's dream with these big splits, right? Versus potentially building my own dream or my own business. Like, dive into that frustration of where brokers are traditionally at in the old model.
Yeah, so with the old model, as you were saying, the large companies, they do take 50-50 of your money, and they don't even let you brand yourself until recently, right? Now you can see the evolution. Before, those companies would never let you brand yourself, but really you should brand yourself, powered by or working with, right? It's just a platform, right? And if, as long as the platform is good, most people will gravitate towards it. And using technology decreases the expenses and costs, as we can see with Amazon, with Uber, as you mentioned, many of those different companies, right? With the Netflix, right? Everything is streaming now. Technology compresses the cost, gives you better client and customer service, right? Because you get immediate feedback, and that's what's going on. But now the costs are shrunk, and that's the one thing I like about eXp and eXp Commercial, is that now we pass the values and savings to you and give you stock, so you have equity, so you're growing your own, wealth. You're growing your own passive income as you stay longer and just do the job that you're supposed to do. So I find this really exciting, is just to do the job you're supposed to do, collaborate with 37,000 agents that we have. So we have a great amount, and we're growing constantly, almost on a daily basis. Now you have more people to cooperate, but using technology like the Verbella, like the platform of just connecting and talking to more people to do more deals and finding opportunities, which is so important.
Yeah, I can certainly relate, with all of that. And I remember 3 years ago, I was approached by some gentleman who was in EXP, and I was skeptical. I'm like, I'm the commercial world. That's really residential, and this is, it's different over here. It's, it's just different, and then I actually was open-minded. I actually underwrote the model, right? I looked at it. I took my my blinders off, if you will, and I just said, let me just have a business mind here. Let me just underwrite what they're actually saying, and if I do X amount of deals here versus X amount of deals here, and then if I train and coach and bring up and help them be successful, what does that actually look like? And even if they do nothing, what does that look like for stock, and what does it look like for technology? And this was about 6 months ago. And then I saw, and fast forward, I'm going, not only all of the underwriting is making sense, but the culture and the leadership and the collaboration and the technology. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm blown away every month that I'm a part of it. I think the stock went from $8 to $10 about a year ago to up to 60. It's now down. I think it's around 50 or so right now. And there's just so much explosion and growth, and I'm blown away. So what's the biggest, difference with, or take us to the moment when you realized that eXp, commercial and the model was actually working to solve all of the problems perhaps that a lot of agents are facing?
So believe it or not, I've been in discussions and watching the eXp model maybe 3 years ago. And I did keep an open mind, showing up to the conferences, showing up to events that, Tom Trong, who was an ARIA national president, invited me to. And I said, well, I'm commercial. It doesn't work. You really don't have the commercial of what I'm looking for. But I was always open-minded. I did present different plans to them as eXp was looking to grow commercial. So they were picking my mind and saying, what do we need to do? And I have talked to many of the residential firms about how they should structure it. But a lot of times this is what I heard. No, this is the way we have it. No, we can't change the franchise agreement. That is what, with technology, with the way eXp is structured, but also being open-minded from the leadership of totally creating a separate bucket with commercial leaders, that is the differentiator, right? So now you have all the tech tools, you have all the networking, you have all the referrals from the residential, but they're allowing to create this separate bucket, this separate commercial brokerage operation, to allow the culture that all commercial agents want. They want to be with other strong commercial brokers and network around the country and the world, so we can do more deal flow. So they know certainty, these are the people to go to, because our world is very small. We can pick up a phone and really figure out and find out who you are right away.
Yeah, very well said. And I can't speak highly enough for the culture and the information sharing. At Marcus Millichap, I felt like I was training my competition, and I really was, right? I was a part of someone's team, and then we split 3 deals, and so I had the 50-50 split with the house, and then I had 50-50 with them. So I'm getting about 25%. And that's great because I was learning and they're adding a ton of value. And at the time, I wouldn't trade that for anything. So I'm forever grateful for what I learned from the mentors and coaches and Marcus and Millichap. But fast forward, things have changed, right? Now the value proposition is okay. So if I'm training other people, and by the way, I'm not at Marcus Millichap. Left in 2011, went with another kind of boutique firm, and then started my own, right? And then I had like a 99.9% split, right, on my own. And I still decided to join eXp, which is started at 80-20, and then you have a chance to build. Now, commercials will be a little bit different with their splits. They haven't, I don't think we quite finalized all that yet. But the point was, now I can coach and train somebody, and I actually want them to be as successful or more successful than me. I want them to go explode and be amazing so they can coach and train somebody else and keep being amazing, right? And those profits and those revenues, the cash flow from that, and I call it kind of the versus the rich dad, poor dad, Robert Kiyosaki. I call it the rich broker, poor broker, right?
Yes.
You want to be the rich broker where you're getting the cash flow, you're getting the profits going into you versus being sent to somebody else. So would you just speak to just the underwriting brilliance of the eXp commercial model?
Yeah, and as long as, like you said, you're open-minded and just plug what you've done, being a great producer, growing a team, building a team, what does your team still do? And how do you get compensated from that? You just have to just be open-minded and plug your numbers into the model. And let's just say, okay, maybe you may lose a little because of this, take that off the table too, right? Just play devil's advocate. And still, I believe the model is better because you get stock, you have growth in stock, you have the referrals from the agents, and you just have to watch and just stay open-minded, plug in your numbers into that financial calculator. Since commercial, we're all about numbers. So just plug it in and see. Because I said from my other companies, if I would have used this model, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd be retired. I'd be doing some good things for society, helping and volunteering and other things, because just plug in your numbers from what you've done in the past and see how it turns out today.
Yeah, the numbers that have no emotion, right? They don't lie. Although I think you'll be really excited when you see just how powerful that is. So, tell us now what life looks like now that you're, or for at least commercial agents, what does it look like now that all of those challenges are being solved? In other words, give us kind of a vision of, let's say someone's producing $1 million a year in commission, right? And they're paying, let's say it's actually 1.5 and they're netting about a million, right? So, and then their team below them is, let's say also producing, let's say 3 million, right? So what would that look like on the other side of things? Give us kind of a just initial vision of that for commercial brokers who are listening right now.
Yeah, well, definitely you'll be making more, you'll be taking home more so you can invest it back in your business. I know if you, whatever you want to do with that extra income that you can make, you can really hire more assistants, do more marketing, get more coaching for your team, bring on more people, whatever you need, that extra money now is available to you to invest in yourself. Or let's say, use that money and buy some buildings to create passive income for your team and your group, right? Use that extra, put that away for the future. So this business is fun for you. So the passive money just keeps flowing in addition to other benefits, right? I think there's like 5 or 6 different levels and ways you can make money from the eXp model, which is fantastic.
It is fantastic. I talk about getting the other side of the phone, right? I remember cold calling. You were trying to not only help people sell buildings and buy buildings, but you're also trying to learn and then make enough commission so that you can invest in your own, right? And not have the brokers calling you. And so this is just an accelerated way to keep that going. So what's the top objection though you feel you receive for those who don't join or haven't or saying no to it? What's the number one objection that you feel like, for folks, if you had a chance to share with them right now, what is it, and then what's the counter to that?
Yeah, so 2 things. One is you're part of a residential company. They just have to understand that we are a separate bucket. We are commercial run. Our culture is commercial. The way we're structured with product type specialists, separate. That's the first one, because they already assume, like some other brands and other models out there, we're going to be like them. We are not. So it's worth exploring. The other objection to a lot of old school commercial brokers, we need an office, right? We need an office. Well, if you produce enough, you actually can get your office and it still makes more sense. If you look at your model, if you're 50-50, 70-30 or some other number, but you do produce at 250, $500,000 or $1 million, the amount you save could allow you to get your own office and you will still be net ahead with extra capital to invest in your own business and company, because this is your own business. So those are the two different objections. One, you're going to be the resi-mercial company. We are not. We're collaborating. We're a separate commercial company. The other one is you don't have a brick and mortar office. Well, if you're a good producer, trust me, the amount you save, you can get your own office if you really, really want to. Right. And you don't need to get the biggest one. And one thing that we are going to do in major markets is to bring all the eXp commercial agents, those that want an office, that want to get away from the home, is to put them all together so we can get some offices in different hubs at a lower cost, right? It's economies of scale, getting everyone together. But those are the two biggest objections. But I just tell everyone, be open-minded and watch us. Just monitor, watch, stay open, because eventually you will come over because of what we're building really with the culture and the opportunities that you can have to be successful and to really retire so you can give back. And I know, Brett, you and I, that's one of our big things is to make money, create wealth so we could help society and help other people.
So well said. Absolutely. That's exactly right. And for those who are interested in learning more, you can go to expertrealtysecrets.com or just reach out to Jim and I directly and just have a conversation, right? And give us a chance to walk through a Zoom meeting online and show you the underwriting, right? Go through the Excel sheet of the options and what that looks like for you. So you can contact me at 916-303-3262. That's my direct line. You can contact Jim. Jim, how can they find you if they want to connect with you?
Yeah, you can contact me by emailing me at james.huang@exprealty.net. So please reach out and just give me a comment or if you'd like to connect. Thank you.
Yep. And we thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Expert Realty Secrets podcast. As always, we believe most real estate brokers and commercial real estate brokers, they struggle with clarifying their passive income options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using proven brokerage strategies such as the eXp model and purchasing investment real estate is the best way for you to grow your wealth. Please reach out to us so we can help you out. And if you are interested, we so appreciate you being open-minded and listening to this podcast. Thank you so much. Bye now. You have just listened to another information-packed episode of Expert Commercial Real Estate Secrets podcast with Brett Swarts. We hope you enjoyed today's show and found it valuable. Visit expertcresecrets.com to access the show notes and to access more resources. That's expertcresecrets.com. Don't forget to leave a review and join us again next time.